Welcome to the Epic Radio Show, everyone. We have Chris Ketler on the show today. We have a great show for you. We're going to talk about lingerie. Teenager dies after eating leftovers. Netflix says, stop thirsting for Ted Bundy, you psychos. We have Playing with Balls with J Val, crazy news, get to work, and much more. Keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show.
Showtime! It's showtime!
Streaming live from Epic Studios, Cleveland, Ohio. It's the Epic Radio Show. Let's get ready to make life epic. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Epic Radio Show. I am your host, Epic. We have Larry Brazil.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
I forgot it is audio too, audio and video. I'm just smiling, but I'm happy. I got coffee. It's Sunday morning.
And then we got Anthony Hall, the Ant-Man.
What's happening?
We're chilling like villains up in this bitch.
Wait, are you using the Ant-Man? Is this for real?
Yeah, why?
The Ant-Man, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's
you gotta
crazy.
make them like little, really small then. Like, how small can you get?
Yeah. It looks good with the new set, though. I like it. I mean, we had it last week, but I almost forgot about it because I'm a little stupid. So, but yeah. Do you guys want to go straight into the topic?
Nah, how about we not?
Why? What do you mean?
I don't know. Just do it.
This motherfucker.
No, notice when somebody says something like that, just like let's do it. And you're just like, no.
Yeah, I know.
But
it just kind of like deflated me a little bit.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Go.
You know what? I do want to mention to make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Epic Music Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Epicness216. I was going to wait, but I guess we might as well make this announcement. So... If anybody knows, I've been trying to shop around the show a little bit to try to get us on just different platforms and stuff. And,
okay, I thought you were trying to sell me or something. Like, not allowed.
No. This isn't like, Christopher Columbus time. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell nobody. That's not how we roll at that.
Don't go on the boat.
But anyways, the show got picked up by Amazon Prime, everybody. Yay! Woo!
Nice.
I don't know what that means yet exactly. Nothing right now. We're going to announce when season 1 will be available. I'm assuming middle of the month. But I'm working on it. I just figured I'd announce that now, even though I don't have anything done with that yet.
Well, this means epicness continues.
That's right. You'll have a new way to watch us, and hopefully a new audience will get to experience us. So, also, we're going to be giving away a couple tickets to a comedy show. And then, I think that's pretty much it extra. We of course we have birthday shout outs, but let's go into our first topic. Lingerie. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Originally Ashley was going to be a part of this conversation.
You gotta make it, just balance it out.
Yeah, so like basically I guess the point of the topic is what is the appeal of lingerie? I mean,
I don't, geez, just go right in. Just say what it is. Okay. I don't know. It could be the softness. Is one thing. It could be very soft. The idea of just having it is almost still just like having a robe or having a pair of shoes. It's going to come off eventually, but if it looks good on you, then go for it.
I like that analogy. That is very good. I like that. Well, I think in her case, it's like, I guess she doesn't see the appeal of it. She doesn't understand why she has to wear lingerie to be sexy or whatever.
Okay, so we're going to have this conversation as if you're going to give her stance on it.
Yeah.
Are you going to attempt to do that? Because I don't know if that really works, because there's no lingerie for a guy per se.
There should be.
Oh, man, no. So when you,
I'm joking. No.
So when you say that, you almost give that you give that argument credibility of why females may say like no to lingerie.
No,
because
I know.
As soon as you say there should be guy lingerie, I was like, I'm not wearing that shit.
No.
What, our balls are gonna hang out?
Yeah, exactly. It'll kind of look like the turkey.
One nut's hanging out. It's called the peekaboo action or something, you know.
But you know what? I wonder if we would have treated our ball sacks just as nice as they treated breast for centuries. Would we be able to have ball bras? Like, I'm just
like loosen up the bra, babe.
They've been cupping breasts since the beginning of time. Yep. Like toga covering, like you would see, like even in Greece they would have the toga, and all the guys would still just have the toga go across the chest. Yep. But then the females would have the toga go across the chest, whip right around and get right underneath that line, cup them right up.
So we would be having saggy balls.
Exactly. We would be holding our balls up.
Yeah.
Like real men do.
Exactly.
And they would look good in our ball bras.
That's right.
I hate when my balls touch the toilet water. I can tell you that. That
sucks. Ashley says in the chat, yes, balls everywhere.
That's crazy.
You know, I can tell you what. With lingerie with me, it's sort of like working it up. Like you just don't get butt naked. I sort of like a little, working up, where I don't see everything all at once. I can use my imagination. No,
I get what you're saying. I feel the same way with that. Like, I think sometimes it would be like just more of like just something different, something to spice it up. You know
see, what I mean? when it's lingerie, it's just like I want to see that off too, like off.
Well, I know, but it's like getting a present and you have to unwrap it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh,
definitely. You know what? I'll tell you what. Lingerie has come a long way. I think when my parents. Back in the day in the 40s, it was like a pair of tube socks and a pair of panties up to her tits or something, How sexy is that?
Yeah.
What do they call those?
Panties?
Corsets?
Corsets?
Isn't that what they're called? Corsets? I think.
I have no clue.
I think there's like different names for like, there's the negligee, then there's the corset.
I am not the doctor of panties.
Oh, jeez. Well, you might have to study up. I mean, we should start at school.
We got a PhD.
We should start at school.
Yeah. Pantyology or something.
Pantyology.
I got a major in pantyology.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You sound like a fucking pervert.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing though. That's amazing.
See, this is why Ashley has to be in this conversation, because this is when I saw the picture pop up, I'm like, oh no, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Yeah. We'll have part 2 hopefully next week.
so is ultimately the question like, what's the point? Or I think. So, like, that's two different questions. Like, we have here presented is like, what is it good for?
Yeah.
And what's the point? Now, to me, two different answers go to that. It is good for a lot of things. Like you said, it's the present value of it. It's also the sneak peek. Yes. It is the shapeliness that more so lingerie gives to what may be unshapely to begin with.
And I think it also enhances the sexiness of a woman, her body.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's like artwork.
He got it. He got exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Better. But then you got like, what is the point of it? I don't know. All that doesn't. If you said we're gonna fuck whether you got the lingerie on and I get to take it off as the present, or it's shaping anything, or it's adding more visual value of hey, we're still gonna fuck, then there's no point to it. Then just take it off. That's what you do.
You know what I sort of like is when a woman's wearing my t-shirt, That's sexy. You know,
Yeah,
no panties on. She's running around in the t-shirt, making me eggs and shit. I want to fuck.
But see, I don't know. Like, she got the t-shirt on for the reason anyway. Like, maybe... I don't know.
You know what it is? I like to see those nipples rub up against my shirt or something. I'm just imagining it right now.
Oh, my God.
Without the bra.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Hey, you better not break that table in there. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I sound like a big pervert now. Yeah, I'm such a perv.
You know, the thing is, with this conversation, it's hard not to.
I think I'm the perv because Ashley's in the chat and she says that I know more than, or I know more than she does about the lingeries.
Yeah.
We also have Justin Way in the chat. He says MBYC.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's good. And Ashley is guaranteeing part 2.
Okay.
And Tommy agrees that it is like opening a Christmas present. Christmas every day with lingerie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why haven't they done that?
Why haven't they like a theme store like that? Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day, and it all rhymes. Valentine's Day, Christmas every day with lingerie.
That was amazing. Pretty good. Maybe Victoria's Secret will pick us up.
Hey, we're gonna open up our own secrets.
That's right. Epic secrets.
Epic secrets.
Oh man,
ball secrets.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna take a break. When we get back, we'll have Chris Ketler on the line. So keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show.
My balls, your chin. That's what Justin has. I love it.
back, everybody. On the line, we have Chris Ketler, who's a comedian from Ohio. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
I'm just sitting here in a bathroom stall at a truck stop on Highway 71.
Awesome, man.
Put your feet up against the door.
Yeah, no toe tapping.
Are you trying to hide from the hookers? Is that what you're doing?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I didn't have enough money to pay her.
I knew
she couldn't make change.
She couldn't make change. They don't have it to where you could just swipe the credit card down her ass anymore, like
like right between that slot of lingerie, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
So once again, I was using the wrong hole, apparently.
There you go. Exactly. Yep. Because I always get confused with that too, because I don't know whether you swipe down the butt crack or you go down the front, and which end makes the change. I don't know.
Just ask her which one makes her feel better.
Gotcha.
And she'll take it.
Okay, we're done. Anyways, yeah, that was getting a little weird. Okay, so so Chris, I guess tell everyone who you are, and also you have kind of a dual role. You're a comedian and also you're a promoter. So let's talk about first how you got into comedy.
How I got into comedy? Well, basically, I was spending too much time in the alleys and needed to spend more time in the bar, so I thought doing stand-up comedy might be a way to get me out of the alleys. So, no, actually, I went through some serious life changes, and it was just a great way when I started out just to really talk about things that were going on in my life, as most amateur comedians do when you start out, not really knowing what you're doing or how you're doing it. But I was very fortunate. Some people along the way took note of me, kind of took me under their wings, encouraged me, gave me some direction, coaching, and counseling, and just kind of developed as it did over the time and stuff as a comedian. And one of the best things, I think, the advice I ever got, which I would tell any comedian that's out there today, is go on the road. Somebody once told me, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And to me, that meant get out there and see the other places and meet other people. And for me personally, that was probably the best thing to help my comedic endeavors, was hitting the road. And that led to producing,
Yeah.
So now it's not just a me thing. When we produce, I talk about we. It's definitely a team environment. There's a couple other people involved. But, I was on the road doing stand-up and meeting a lot of great people, honestly, that were much better than myself. And I wanted to work with these people more, because when you work with somebody that's better than you, I feel it challenges me to be better. And so I wanted to be able to bring these people to the Akron, Cleveland area, and, we work towards that. And now we bring comedians from all over the country to Akron and Cleveland. And that's pretty exciting, because the talent pool that we work with are the fresh, young, rising star talents of tomorrow. We don't work with the people who have been out there for 30 years telling the same jokes for the last decade. We're working with people who are going to be the next people on TV, the next people on Saturday Night Live, the next people to have a Netflix special. And the really great thing is you get to meet them and see them in an intimate environment where you can approach them after the show and talk with them and get your picture taken with them,
Yeah.
And stuff. So we're very fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah, it sounds great. So who do you think your biggest influence in comedy is, though?
For me personally, or for comedy in general?
How about both?
Well, for me, I'm an old school guy, so I like, the George Carlins.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Tommy
Bruce,
says.
Rodney Dangerfield, Steve Martins, all of that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But today, I think comedy, since there's access to so much of it, from everything from Netflix to YouTube, that I think, everybody has the ability to find what works for them and what they connect with. And that's kind of the great thing about it, because in years past, there was just like one style or one vein of comedy, from the 1980s backwards. There was just, whatever was popular was popular. It was just that one vein, that one trend at the time. But now, because there's so many outlets for different types of comedy, there's a way for everybody to connect and find their type of comedy that works best for them.
Yeah. So was there a question?
Yeah. I actually just had one too.
Oh, okay.
Like as you mentioned that too, with so many outlets and so many ways to absorb comedy and new comedians. Do you find it kind of hard to keep up and wish like you working with new comics and bringing them out into the Cleveland, Akron area too? Have you found that these new comics aren't either aware of, you know, their acts or their jokes, you know, already happening somewhere? Like, do you notice any conflict with just the huge pool of comics now?
Yeah, you know, in an amateur sense, there's a huge amount of comics out there working, you know, just starting or having they're early in their endeavors and stuff. So, you know, for them to find their so-called voice is an important thing. And, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions in comedy and stuff. So we do try to work with local amateur developing talent as well. And we have a showcase actually that we do. It's absolutely free on the first and third Sunday of every month in Akron. And this is a showcase where people from around the country come to practice and network and things like that. So, you know, we try to work with the rising talent locally as well as throughout the country. But yeah, I think, you know, when you're in the amateur ranks, it's really just a matter of like anything. It like playing baseball. You know, you got to go to spring training, you got to practice, and you got to work through it and stuff. For me personally, I don't like to view a lot of recorded comedy because I'm always afraid, well, how's that going to affect my personal comedy? So I'm more of, I like to enjoy live comedy. I want to see somebody perform it. The other aspect of recorded comedy that I don't care for is the fact that it's edited. They take, you know, if you watch a Netflix special, they take 3 days of somebody recording, you know, twice a night, and then they edit it down to the very best of it. And comedy is not that way when it's live. Comedy is very raw and real, and it's not polished all the time.
Yeah, just the crowd and the laugh at joke every night.
Yeah. It's just, it happens in the moment.
Gotcha. Another thing, and I want to talk a little bit about the comedian community. Do you find that comedians are supportive of each other, or is it like a strict competition between you guys?
Yeah, I think that kind of varies. There's areas where you know what, comedy is like high school. It's very cliquey, is what I would say.
Yeah.
There are groups that run together, and there's groups that are welcoming to others, and there's groups that will shun others. And I think that kind of is probably the best overall way to describe it. There's some areas that are very welcoming to new people if you travel, you know, to another city, and there's other cities that are not helpful at all. I've traveled to cities and tried to make contacts, and you'll get the blanket response, hey, it's on the event page, or hey, it's on a pinned post, or it's on a website. And then you go and look at that information, and it's, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
You go and show up to a club, and the club I've literally shown up to a club, and there wasn't even a building there anymore.
Wow.
You know, so they're not there. But there's other cities I've gone to, and there's almost like they have a goodwill ambassador, somebody that makes sure that you can get to the trains, and they want to meet you and they want to talk to you. So it all just depends which cliques you are able to connect with. But I think, in my opinion, the comedy community is not much different than high school was.
Gotcha. What's the worst city you've been to?
What's the worst city as far as like
just in general?
So then we can send them a clip.
What's the worst one?
Shitty to me.
Just so we can send them a clip of this.
Nashville is a music city, not a comic city.
Just the worst one. Shithole city. Which one? You got 10 seconds. City? Yep. 10 seconds to answer. I'm putting you on blast right now.
Nashville was the worst by far.
Nashville,
yeah. Tennessee. Yeah,
awesome.
That's the one where I went to, and the guy says, "Yeah, it's all on the website." And I literally went there, and the first day, the first club I went to, the building had been demolished. There was nothing there.
Nashville.
And I went back into the Uber and went to the second club, and there was chains on the door and a sticker on the window saying that the property had been seized by the IRS.
What did the Uber driver say?
Drug raid.
What did the Uber driver say, or what did he have to say for himself?
Uber driver said, "Do you want another ride for another $30?"
Well, I guess Nashville's known for country, not comedy, or maybe
definitely not a comedy city.
No. What do you think your best experience was?
My best experiences are usually in larger markets. I've been very successful in Chicago, but all in all, New York City is hands down the finest place to do stand-up comedy. I'm very, very blessed with the connections I have there. One of my many trips I do is I go the days between Christmas and New Year's. It's absolutely great. If you're a comedian, I encourage you to give this a try, because every day more and more people are coming into the city and for New Year's Eve, obviously, and there's not enough things for them to do. And you're playing to sold-out standing room crowds. I mean, they say, wow, fuck the fire codes. They literally put 350, 400 people into a room, and you're playing to a packed house and stuff. And this year, I had the opportunity to open 3 nights for Sheba Mason, and then on the 4th night, she let me feature for her. And Sheba Mason is the daughter of Jackie Mason, who was a huge comic back in the 70s and 80s. He was up there with Rodney Dangerfield and all of those people, It's amazing. Anybody that was around in those days definitely knows the Jackie Mason name.
I got a question.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, sometimes I go to comedy events and I'll see like material that another comic will use, and then another comic will use the same material. Now, do they have to ask for the other comedian's permission to use that material? Like, sometimes I feel like that's like a form of plagiarism, or try to use someone else's material. Or is that cool, for them to do that?
That is definitely not cool. There's actually amateurs who will come out and they will do like, if you do a tribute, like there's people that will do a tribute, which is not even accepted. It's not like music where you can be a cover band. You have to write and perform your own material. And people who do that are not welcome in the comedy industry. And that's why a lot of people like myself, I don't post videos on YouTube, because that's what people do, is they'll just troll through those and glean your material. And now your time, energy, and effort has just been ripped off.
So if I see someone doing this, should I heckle them?
Well, I'm not going to tell you to heckle a comedian, but because nobody likes to be heckled. We don't mind the interaction, but you should just know that who this person is and what they're doing, I think, more than anything. And in all honesty, if they're ripping somebody's material off, their time is very limited.
Yeah.
Their time is very limited.
They'll end up like...
But the downside is, and this is the fear, like we talked about before, watching comedy, this is the fear as writing your own material, is that sometimes my material might strike too close to somebody else's material, and then you're like, oh, you have that fear. And that's why I don't want to listen too much to recorded comedy, because I don't want it to like subliminally plant a comedic idea for me to work on, that I didn't organically create myself and stuff. But it does happen where people will have very similar material. Actually, a friend of mine in New York City and I were talking the other day, and we're both working on a joke that's basically evolving around the same premise, and I'm like, that's so freaking weird. How does that happen?
I mean, it happens. I mean, there's so many people in the world that do similar things, that like having the same idea is pretty common. I mean, even when I used to write music, I would write a song I think that was like going to be a new hit, and then I'd listen to the radio and this new song came on and it was like my idea, like, and I'm like, man, like, did they bug my place? Like, what the, like.
Hey, Chris, I got an idea for you. When Epic brings up music here, and just what you were talking about, you and your friend finding out that you're basically working on the same type of joke.
Yeah.
I've watched comedians like, who is it now? I don't know why I can't remember his name. It escapes me. He has this special where it's the two of them. And they go on. They're like going on the road. I think it's on Netflix that I was watching it. But it's these two comedians, and they're doing like this stand up act together. Have you thought about possibly like just how music artists get together and do collabs, but basically doing like a comedic collab separately? Like, either one half of the joke is told by one comedian, then you got to go see the other comedian and get the rest of the joke, or anything like that. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe you and your friend who's working on that joke can get together and do something like that.
I've contemplated that. It kind of sounds like what you're talking about is like the old Abbott and Costello kind of thing, in a sense. And I've thought about that, and I'd like to do that. I just haven't found anybody that would do anything like that. I think, again, very cliquey environment.
Oh, no, not on the same stage. Like you're
not on the same stage.
Like so you're doing your set, and that you're starting off a story, and even half of that is there still has a joke in it, but the continuation of that, there's another comic who picks up that same story, like it's the same premise, and it's continuing on, but it's for more joke. It's, I don't know, it's just something that it just came to me.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
We got a couple questions in the chat too. Tommy is asking, where in Akron was that meet and greet that you mentioned earlier? That comics can get together and kind of hash out, kind of learn some techniques about writing and things like that. Where in Akron is that?
Okay, it's on the first and third Sundays of every month. We don't do them on certain days like Super Bowl or Easter. So the next one we have is actually February 17th. It's at a place called Barmacy Bar and Grill in Highland Square. And it runs from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Awesome. Thank you.
And if they were interested, they can check out the Funny Noises website or Facebook and connect with us. Because I'll be honest with you, it fills up really quick. I mean, I have comedians that come from California, West Virginia, New York, Michigan, all over. And we always try, like, if you're local, to squeeze you in. But right now, to be candid with you, I'm booking for April. It's that popular.
I think he just wants to, like, watch. I don't think he wants to be.
Come out and check it out. It's a great thing. And I'll tell you, if you're interested in just seeing a great free comedy show there, on March 10th, I've got 5 comedians coming from New York City, this place that's called the Grizzly Pear Comedy Club.
Yeah.
This place has been compared to what the Comedy Store in California was in the 1970s.
Okay.
Which basically every comedian that you could name today, that's where they came from. So this is the future of comedy. It's kind of like my home away from home when I'm in New York City. And I've got 5 friends from there coming to do a show on Sunday, March 10th. And it's absolutely free. Absolutely free.
It's my birthday too, bro.
Well, we're going to look for you there, Epic.
I will see.
You'll have the day off.
I will have the day off. I will.
Is it March
14th? It's a great show. And like I said, you'll get to see, I can assure you that you will see future stars at this show. These are comedians that will be future stars. Will have Netflix, will be on TV, will have their name in lights at some time.
Nice. All right. Also, you promote a lot of these shows yourself.
Yep.
What got you into that side of it?
Again, it was just something I kind of fell into. I had some friends from New York say, "Hey, Chris, we're coming through the area. Do you know any places that we could go up on to do some time?" And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I could help them out and get them 5 or 10 minutes here or 5 or 10 minutes there, or we could just make our own show. And I didn't know what I was doing. I'm a network person. I know this person and I know that person, and I can kind of bring these people all together
Yeah.
And that's how it started. So, I had some friends from New York that were extremely funny. I knew an MC. I knew a sound guy. I had access to a theater. And I just pulled all the resources together, and it happened. And we had a great time with it. And I'm like, wow, I'd like to do this again. And we started out doing it just once a month. And from there, we learned and grew. We understand the importance of getting it out onto the internet, the search engines, how to get it onto print media, how to run ticket sites. And from there, it's taken off.
Great. And also you've been helping us out. Last week we gave away a couple tickets that you actually sponsored that for us. Today we're going to give away a couple tickets to another show. So we appreciate that. And we also appreciate you being on the show. We know you're a busy guy.
How's that bathroom?
Well, I had a great time, and I enjoy listening to the show. I think you got a great thing going on here, and we're just honored to be able to give you guys some tickets for your listeners to come out and see and enjoy and have a good time.
All right, how's that bathroom doing?
Well, a couple of people have come and gone. I think I got heckled at least once.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. If you guys want to know more about Chris and his shows, follow Funny Noises on Facebook. I mean, heard a couple. He's just all over. He's just all over the place, between Akron and Cleveland and everywhere. So just look up Chris Ketler. He has his own personal page, Funny Noises, and also funnynoises.com if you want to check out anything from there. Thank you so much, Chris. We're going to go on break. When we get back, hopefully we'll be playing with some balls with Jay Val. Keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show. Thanks, man. back, everybody, to the show. Shit, man. I swear, like, every day is a new day, and every week is a new week, obviously. But, like, fucking, like, it just seems like every time I do this show, it's like I'm doing it for the first time. It's like I've got that, like, what's that?
Groundhog's Day? Today?
Kind of.
You have that? You have today happening today?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's so weird. And I feel like we've already done all this shit before, and we have.
You're literally describing how you feel on the day that they made a movie about how you're feeling. Like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
I know that's what I was in reference to.
Okay,
I did it on purpose, dude.
Oh, I see.
I was hoping. I knew you would get it.
I don't get the sarcasm all the time.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
I get distracted, so sometimes it really blows in my head, and I get
happy Groundhog's Day, everybody. Actually, no, that was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
But we're living it again today.
Exactly. So it is the second.
See what I'm saying? I'm around too many kids. I swear to God. I'm at work, there's kids. I get home, there's kids, and I don't think
he
straight.
Didn't see his shadow, I guess. I
didn't even look to see what happened. I don't know. I hear they are making a VR game out of Groundhog Day, the movie.
Are they really?
It's going to be... It's supposed to come out later this year, so not on Groundhog Day, so I would still wait till 2020. We're
gonna be playing with some balls in a minute, but I just wanted to mention that the Cleveland Fusion has a chance for you to win a 4-pack of free tickets for a home game. All you gotta do is check out their Facebook page. They have a contest to name their mascot. So you go to they have it on their page. You go to their website, put in your email, what the name is that you want to.
Oh, there's not options. You can just throw out a name.
Yeah, you can throw out a name.
Ooh.
And the best one wins, and you get a 4-pack of free tickets.
You sure you're telling our audience this? Just throw out a name. Yeah. We were talking about some pretty crazy shit earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so try not to go crazy. I mean, it is a professional women's football team. You know,
no.
You know, don't get #MeToo with the name. So
go get a free some free tickets.
Yeah,
have some fun. Help them out there.
Have fun, but don't have too much fun. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be perverted.
Jay, are you on the line?
Yeah, I am. I can barely hear you, but yeah.
I don't see how. It must be just because you're in, like, racism country or some shit. I don't know.
That's a place?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, buddy.
You.
All right, well, shut up. Okay, let me do the intro. Balls. Play with ball. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, go ahead, Jay.
Jay, we're playing with your balls. Go.
Hey, how you guys doing? Sorry about that. I'm trying to hear you guys. You're, like, very faint. I can't really hear you.
It has to be on your end because we hear you just fine. Yeah.
Okay, well, I hear you just fine, but Epic is hard to hear you. But anyways, all right, I'll try to hear your guys' responses. But anyways, on sports today, we'll start with the NBA. You guys are familiar with this season in the NBA coming up on the trade deadline has been pretty crazy. They actually had some they pretty much stole headlines over the Super Bowl this week. So they had Anthony Davis that requested a trade from the Pelicans. We all know, seen this coming. Anthony Davis signed with Rich Paul, which is LeBron James's agent and longtime friend from Cleveland, Ohio. And we all knew once he signed with that camp that it was only a matter of time before he requested a trade. I'd seen it coming. Everyone's seen it coming. At first, the Lakers offered some players and picks, and I'll get into that in a second, for Anthony Davis, and they did refuse. They were kind of upset with Anthony Davis, and they said that they weren't going to let him get his way. So, I mean, opposed to like players requesting trades and wanting to go to a certain team, they were trying to do it, you know, the right way. Like the Cavs, I think, should have did with Kyrie. Like, okay, if you want to leave us, we're going to send you somewhere where we don't think you're going to be very successful. But anyways, or where you want to go. But the Lakers, they reportedly made 5 separate offers to the Pelicans for Davis, and one was including Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Michael Beasley, Rajon Rondo, and a first-round pick.
Damn.
A lot of the players and stuff they've been offering, the Pelicans consider it lowball deals, but I heard they are going to be reaching out and actually offering a turnaround deal. So they're going to give them their counter offer.
Okay.
That's crazy. Hold on now. Like, I thought LeBron went there for Ball. Like, is LeBron just trying to build another like Heat and Cavs with old ass people again? Like, what the hell?
I don't know.
Well, Anthony Davis is young, man. He's still he would definitely be the face of the Lakers franchise once LeBron left, because Anthony Davis is still young and very much young and in his prime. Remember, he only played 1 year at Kentucky, and that was like one of the best Kentucky teams we've ever seen. And that came out with the class of Jeremy Lamb and Michael Gilchrist and those guys. So I mean, he's still young, and that's why they want to get him in there. Because another thing, you guys heard the Kyrie talks. He isn't opposed to rejoining LeBron, which would be a smack in the face to Cleveland fans.
It would,
because
be.
I mean,
of all that drama and shit, yeah, and then yeah,
all that drama. Then he leaves, and they end up together in Los Angeles. And Cleveland has to feel, if that happens, we got to feel a little shade. We got to feel a little bit shaded by that man.
We got the Baker. We're fine.
Yeah, we got Baker Mayfield. It's all good. But anyways. Back to the NBA, another trade that really just rocked us in the past couple of days, in the past 2 days, was the Knicks trading Kristaps. Let me see if I can say this right. Kristaps Porzingis. I do believe it's a European name, but anyways, the Knicks. I'm sorry, what was that?
I just call him Borg. It's a Star Trek reference. I'm sorry.
The Knicks received Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews and 2 first-rounders from the Mavericks. And in the deal, the Mavericks got Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke, and also Kristaps Porzingis, which is, I think that's a heck of a pickup for the Mavericks, because if Porzingis comes back, I mean, if you know Mark Cuban, if you've ever followed him, he's been big on Dirk Nowitzki. You remember him, Epic, correct?
Yes, I do. Big Dirk.
Yeah, well, he loves the European players. We've seen what Mark Cuban did this year in the draft. He traded and got his first-round pick this year was a Euro player. So, I mean, he likes Euro players.
Yeah.
And Kristaps, I think, is going to be – he can be that new Dirk Nowitzki. And he's going to be paired along with, Doncic, who is new. And, I mean, these guys are just – I think the Mavericks are going to be a good team coming forward. So, hopefully, Porzingis can, come back from that knee injury. If not, then, I mean, I don't know. But I think he'll be fine. But it's just so crazy how in the NBA right now, there's tons of players that are just requesting trades, man.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Also, have you talked about the Indians yet?
No, we're still in basketball.
Okay. No, what the fuck? Did you hear about they were going to trade Kluber, but it doesn't look like they're going to now?
Corey Kluber or Trevor Bauer. were the two big name pitchers on the list that were trying to be shopped around. For any one of those guys, if the Indians didn't get some substantial compensation for them guys, I'd be pretty upset. They already let this team just dissolve. But, I mean, yeah, fall apart correctly, yeah. But the thing is, they are still picked to win the AL Central, so I don't know. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I don't see it, but, I mean, I think the only team that's really going to give them a run that I could see possibly maybe the Twins, but, I mean, in our division. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I think the Indians really just had a great team. You go from a team that's really right there, World Series, in the playoffs. We were in the World Series, 2016. I mean, I don't understand they let this team just fall apart. And now I don't see these guys going far. I'd be surprised if they even make it in the playoffs.
Game over.
What happened?
He played a sound effect that said "game over." It was pretty funny.
Oh, did he? Okay.
It timed out. The timing was perfect, though.
Yeah. I can't really hear too well, but anyways,
we're gonna make you a doctor's appointment.
Anyways, I want to get into. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
We're gonna make you a doctor's appointment with your
now
ears.
I can hear you.
The next time you pass through Cleveland, go to the doctor, the ear doctor. Every time I'm on the show, man, you can't hear me.
Huh?
Yeah. So hey, I'm gonna get into the NFL real quick.
Okay.
So.
Hey,
the NFL, we all know what today is.
Yeah, but you know what? And before you start, I wanted to say that if you didn't do your segment today, I was going to come up with this whole scenario about why you weren't on the show, and you were going to be basically in a bathtub filled with KY jelly, warming sensations, and watching a lot of Tom Brady tapes.
Okay, man. That's funny.
I would have totally done a graphic.
Yeah.
You would only come up with something like that, man.
No, me and Ashley was coming up with that shit last night.
Oh, yeah, you and Ashley, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. You guys are crazy. But, yeah, I mean, you guys come up with only you two would come up with this off-the-wall stuff. You know when you guys come up with it, because, I mean, it's just you, original, man. So, I mean, it's funny. But I'm going to jump into NFL real quick, man. And we all know it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
The game time, 6:30 p.m. It's the New England Patriots. This is against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm sorry, I was going to say St. Louis. It's Los Angeles Rams now. And anyways, it's in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and it's on CBS. So anybody that wants to catch the Super Bowl, I'm sure you know where to watch it. It's at 6:30 p.m. I mean, there's pregame stuff before then, and it's in Atlanta. You know, it's Tom Brady's 9th Super Bowl, man. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm. He's also breaking records because he's the oldest quarterback to ever be in Super Bowl, and then the Rams head coach is actually the youngest head coach to ever be.
Youngest, yeah. Yep. Can you believe Sean McVay's our age and he's from Ohio?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is he the oldest, or is he tying right now for Peyton Manning? I think he's tied right now.
It's crazy. Here's the thing. I'd like Tom Brady to get the 6. He's already proven that he's the GOAT. I mean, there's no quarterback like Tom Brady. I mean, the guy's just 9 Super Bowls. That's an accomplishment in itself. But if he gets a 6th ring, he's going Jordan on their ass, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't count one of them. One of them.
But anyways,
deflated balls, that doesn't count.
Deflate game.
Deflated balls. Hey, but he ain't know nothing about that, man. He ain't know nothing about that. Tonight, I don't care to see.
Yeah, he's the main one with the ball. How would he not know? Like, this feels a little
He should have been. That's where we got that. He's the original playing with balls.
Yeah, exactly.
I call that plausible deniability there.
Yeah.
Plausible.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. Yeah, did you guys watch the awards last night? I'm going to shoot off the awards that the NFL honors last night. And I'm a little upset, but, you know, we'll get through it. It's Defensive Player of the Year with Aaron Donald, and we will see him in the Super Bowl tonight. The dude's a wrecking ball. He's probably the best defensive player in the NFL. The guy's unstoppable.
He's Miley Cyrus. He's Miley Cyrus. He's the Miley Cyrus of NFL. He's a wrecking ball.
Oh, boy.
What you say?
It went right over his head.
Just forget it, man. Just forget it. Go ahead.
Okay, anyways, defensive rookie is Darius Leonard for the Colts. He came out of nowhere. Offensive player of the year, though, MVP is going to Pat Mahomes, man. So that guy, you know, he was just drafted last year by John Dorsey, who was the same guy that drafted Baker this year. So, I mean, that kid came out and balled, man. He threw for like 50 touchdowns this year in his second year, and the kid almost took his team to the Super Bowl. So that kid's just going to have nothing but great success. And offensive rookie of the year, I was hoping our boy Baker would have got it, but Saquon Barkley had over 2,000-plus yards from scrimmage this year, and he broke some records for being a rookie, but so did Baker. Baker broke the TD record, but he fell a little short to Saquon Barkley in that race for offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
But I think this is just going to add another chip to Baker on his shoulder, and I think next year we're going to see some pretty amazing stuff, guys. I mean, I'm excited for next year. Don't want to fast forward through the summer, but I kind of do because I want to get back to football season.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be over after tonight, so...
Yeah, the thing about Baker, though, is I think if he had started from day one this season, he probably...
Oh, he would have got it for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And another guy that was in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year, not many people know, Nick Chubb was in the running, our running back.
Yeah.
And both of those guys, because of Hugh Jackson, didn't start in the beginning of the year. And John Dorsey, kudos to him for forcing Hugh's hand and trading Carlos Hyde to get Nick Chubb in there. I think once we seen Nick Chubb in that one game where he went off for like 150 yards on 3 carries, they were just like, yeah, this dude, he's the starting running back. What are you doing, Hugh? That's when we kind of got the clue as of Hugh Jackson didn't know what the hell he was doing as a head coach. Not the fact that he went 1-31, but, you know, the fact that he did that.
He's a moron. Okay.
He just didn't know what he was doing, man.
All right, well, thank you, Jay.
Guys. That's sport. Yeah, everybody watch the Super Bowl tonight. It's the last football game of the season, and I'll have some recap for that, guys. I love you guys. I love the fans, guys.
What?
I'm just making them think
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right.
This guy's good.
Is there any questions?
No. We're listening to our defensive player's song of the year. Give us some time.
All right, I'll let you guys go, man.
All right. Bye.
Hey, take care, Jay.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
In other news, so if you're a big user of FaceTime, if you've got, you know, an iPhone, which a lot of people do, there's recently a bug discovered that even if the other person didn't pick up, you could still hear what was going on the other end.
Yeah, so I think my own personal opinion to that is that is just them leaking. Like this is the first mistake that's been made of all the allegations that your phone is listening to you.
I know.
This sums it up in a nutshell that if this could happen, then yeah, your phone is always on and someone's listening.
Exactly.
To something.
Yes, I agree, because how the fuck am I going to talk about needing shaving cream or whatever the fuck, and then I go on Facebook and then I get ads for shaving cream?
Yep.
Like, how fucking weird is that, though? Like, you know somebody's listening.
See, my phone actually had a mistake. I was talking about shaving cream, but I had an ad for bathing cream. It's something you don't want to. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck?
Mine was for ball shaving cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what happens when your phone mislistens, though?
Yeah.
Instead, man, now we're making up words now. Mislistening.
miss listening. Fuck it. They're only words. They don't control us.
Hey, on the tablet, you might want to turn it up a little bit though, because it's been a little low.
Well, with just the sounds.
Yeah, the sound effects. Yeah,
the music's good. But yeah, I don't know if so. Did they fix it yet?
What's
or
that?
is it still happening? The FaceTime bug is.
I believe they have it fixed. It's been over a week and a half.
That's why I don't fuck with Apple anymore, man. I got rid of everything Apple in my house. I was even down with, like, after I got rid of the iPhone. I really wasn't a huge fan of the iPhone anyway, but I had iPads, I had the MacBook, I had the Apple TVs. Even once I got rid of the MacBook and the tablet, I still had the Apple TVs. I was still kind of on it, but no.
You know what? It kind of pisses me off about Apple is that they make everything specifically for them. Like, you can't bring. There's not a lot of compatibility,
and that was the Apple TV thing that had me discouraged and continuing to stay with Apple, because I was just on Apple TV, and then they came out with the new Apple TV that had, you know, improved internet, and they already screwed me over, because when I adopted the Apple TV, it was only 720p. Then they did a 1080p one in that same year, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So then they just kept leaving me behind, and then the price of Apple TV went from $140 to like $250, and I'm just like, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. They release shit, like, instead of releasing maybe 2 versions at the same time for that, or just waiting till they had a better product, they release something and then they immediately release something a little later that's better. And for like triple the price. And
you can't tell me that other companies don't, you know. They still do this kind of stuff, because you got Facebook with the Pixel. That's Facebook's, right? The Pixel thing. But they give you 2 options. There's the horizontal small one, or there's the portrait large one.
No,
Boom,
that's
here it
Google.
It's Google Pixel.
Yep.
And then even Google did the same thing with Home. Amazon did the same thing with Echo. They came out with both of them. They was like, look, both of these do the same shit. One does it better, but they do the same shit. If Apple would have just done that with everything they do, this is better. They just reintroduced the iPhone GS again, the GS series.
I don't even know.
Whatever that is.
It's getting to the point where they're releasing phones 2 and 3 times a year now. It used to be once a year or even once every couple of years. But
I'm just happy with my LG phone. I've never did Apple this or Apple that, because I'm a cheap bastard. Fuck that. So,
Ashley's in the chat. She says is always listening. Tommy said he had a question he didn't get answered from Jay. Sorry about that. We'll find that one out and get an answer.
You know what? I already know. He wanted to know where he is. Is that what it was? You don't have the restream up?
No.
Okay. Well, if you just go to it, it should be logged in and stuff already, and that way you can see everyone's.
Okay, yeah, I'm watching it in Facebook, but not the restream one. The other thing I was going to say is, for me, getting rid of Apple ended up making, like, okay, what I'm saying is, if they are listening, how do you get back at it? Like, how do you say,
what, shut off your phone? Like, I don't know, like.
So what I'm thinking is, like, okay, if Apple ended up making, or any of these manufacturers wanted to sell their next phone, what if they just, you know, take a jab at us and just know, like, hey, we've made these updates and these changes to this phone, and then their slogan for that particular phone is, we're always listening.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Tommy, I'm not sure what your question was, but if it was about where Jay was, he's in Mississippi.
M-I crooked letter.
Hold on. Let me.
I crooked letter I.
Yeah.
Say it with me now. Humpback I.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna look at something real quick.
I'm here now, but it doesn't give me the past stuff.
Oh,
but I think you're right. He was asking about where he was at, and then he was also at a truck stop shitter. And he also reminded Jay to make sure he washes his hands. I think that was about Chris, though. Yeah. No. This was after we were talking about. I remember watching that one. Okay.
What's up with everyone at these truck stops, huh?
I don't know. I need to join them, I guess.
I don't know, dude.
On a toe tapping.
Crazy. All right. Well,
toe tapping.
Yeah. Was that it? Everybody got out what they wanted to on the
whole FaceTime thing? Yeah, I'm good. I'm just not. Okay. I'm not messing with Apple.
Yeah,
can't do it.
Me either.
Stick with LG.
I'm not saying Android doesn't do the same thing. All phones listen, so
they do. I kid you not. Me and my girlfriend had the conversation the other day. Like Thomas said, or Epic said the other day, is I'll talk about one thing and then I'll get on my phone and then all of a sudden an app or some kind of advertisement pops up and I'm like, holy fucking shit! How do they know I wanted an apple pie?
I know, that's crazy.
With
it's
my
weird.
dick in it or something crazy.
Yeah, like it's very specific. Very. It
scares me, man.
Or even when you Google something and then all of a sudden you go on Facebook and it'll be on there. You know, like
I gotta ask my wife. I wonder if it works in another language.
That's a good question.
I never asked about that. She never really talks about to me product stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Does your wife speak a different language?
She speaks Spanish.
Oh, all right.
And then she speaks wife.
Oh shit!
You ask her for money and you get the response.
Gotcha. We're gonna take a break. When we get back, we're gonna give away some tickets. We're gonna have crazy news, and Netflix says stop thirsting for Ted Bundy, you sick fucks. Okay, so be right back. Keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show.
Tommy, don't start the pudding pop.
Welcome back, everyone. So what we're going to do first, before we get into crazy news, is put the pudding with the pudding.
In the pudding pops. That's the Samuel L. Jackson's pudding pops. You can't touch those pudding pops.
What about you, man?
I got nothing about the pudding pop. I'm sorry.
He almost had it though. I ain't got no pudding pops.
I'm thinking of Bill Cosby for some reason.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's just the worst impression of Bill Cosby ever.
We're here to celebrate a different way to eat Jell-O gelatin.
The pudding pops. Okay.
All right.
That's just for you, Tommy. I had to convince these guys to do it in the break, so there you go.
So we're giving away 2 free tickets to Later Gator comedy show. It's Saturday, February 9th. It's from 9 to 11. The headlining is, there's actually two headliners, Jerry Martinez and Robin Gray Cardizone. They're twins that do comedy together. Chris Ketler will be featured. There's Jason Malaterno, G.W. Neal, and Tom Cullison.
So, Tommy, that's the answer to your question. Chris will be there at that February show.
Yes. So call in. You got 216-584-5718.
Get some tickets.
Get some tickets.
Are we waiting for them to call? Because we don't have to wait for them to call. No. I'll go with I guess first person that calls. Fuck it. Damn. Yeah, put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Quick button on the phone.
Yep. 216-584-5718. Now we're gonna move on to crazy news.
You can do it.
Yep.
When crazy shit happens, the Epic Radio Show will be there to report and shit. It's time for crazy news.
All right.
Look, I cannot do crazy news as well as Ashley does, but I always try to attempt it. And right now, this story fits me so well because I don't know if it's something that I would have ended up doing or what is going on. But you know where this is happening is near and dear to my heart. I was born in Milwaukee, so this is in Madison, Wisconsin. Headline reads, a man, 34 years old, about 36, 34 years old, wrecks home with axe after he thought wife damaged his action figures. Apparently, this 35-year-old man took an axe to some expensive possessions, including his TV, laptop, computer, and the family car because he thought his wife damaged some of his action figures. His wife was aged 46, and the officers was suspected that he drank too much and overreacted because of seeing damage to some of those prized figures that he had. He used a log splitting axe to open up the TV stand, the laptop, computer. I don't know if I would have went through all of this for some action figures because the bottom line is I need my TV, I need my laptop, and I think they're a little bit or just as important as action figures.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He also took the axe to the family car, breaking the windshield. So in total, damages are estimated to be more than $5,000. What I do not see in this story is how much were the action figures worth? Is this really worth it? Would you? So what do you own? What do you own that you would just?
I think that was more of a temper.
The rest of your shit.
You know what? I think if like something happened to my equipment, I think I would lose my shit.
But do you wreck the rest of your shit? Like
no. This is obviously somebody that had some mental issues. So did you have someone for us, Anthony?
As a matter of fact, John Reese called in and he just won 2 tickets.
Awesome, John Reese. So John Reese, how this works, if you're still listening, is I'll message you, or we'll get a hold of you after the show. I'll get your name and whoever you're going to take with you, and then all you have to do is just tell your names at the event. You'll be on the list. So,
and you might have to show some ID because at this point now everybody's just going to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You might have to show some ID, but I'm sure. You are who you say you are.
And you're an American citizen.
Yeah. You gotta answer 10 true and false questions.
And then
go ahead.
You have to translate from wife too.
Yeah. If you get like half of them wrong, you don't get the free show after all. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm just joking. Congratulations for winning the contest. But.
So, like Ashley said in the chat, that guy in Wisconsin went cray-cray. But this one in Florida is just as crazy. Yeah, another guy kind of goes crazy. Headline reads, Florida woman shot after performing sexual act for Pringles and $5, says deputy. In Jacksonville, of course. Can we just say that right now?
Florida, I'm telling you, there's something in the water down there.
Shooting at the gas station has left a woman in the hospital on Monday night. This was last week. Deputies responding to the incident found a victim at about 10:30 Monday night with a gunshot wound to her shoulder. They said that the injury was non-life threatening. It took place while the woman was performing a sexual act with a man in exchange for Pringles, potato chips, and $5. Once the deed was done, he asked for his $5 back and shot the woman. So I don't know. I don't know how you get. You know what the act is. I think you know what the act is. So it's more like, do you just get Pringles worth a hit, or do you get Pringles and $5 worth it? I don't know which one would set him off to shoot somebody.
Well, the monetary value of like a can of Pringles is usually roughly between $1 and $2,
something like that.
This kind of reminds me of that story we had a couple weeks ago, I think, of the guy who had a couple hookers and then wanted his money back. Yeah. And he called the cops on him.
But that's calling the cops because you actually have like a legitimate claim. I just wonder, like, would he still have shot her if he had asked for the Pringles back? And maybe he couldn't get the Pringles back because she already eaten the Pringles. I don't know. Yeah. I think I still need more information. Detectives are asking anyone with information to call about the case, but no, call me because I need that information.
I just don't understand what like rock bottom is to a person that needs to have sex for $5 and some Pringles to begin with, and then what kind of rock bottom you would be in to actually want the $5 back and shoot somebody over it. You know, like there's a lot of unanswered questions in this story.
There was some rock bottom head that was going on too. You know,
rock bottom. So Ashley says, "I would not do sexual acts for Pringles." I assume they would have to be Lay's.
Well, clearly, if she won't, somebody else will.
There is a market, people.
There is a market.
And you can go to Sam's Club. They have a nice little box of Pringles.
And apparently Pringles are a form of tender now. So there you go.
Pringles definitely are fun size.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is, you know, like you can stack your chips in another way. There you go.
I think I get that.
Yeah, it's a money joke.
Okay.
Because I said it's a form of tender. Okay. So anyways.
There's another form of tender that's available. However, this ex-Morgan employee can no longer tenderize his form of currency.
Yeah.
Headline reads, FBI seizes over 3,000 penises during raid at Morgan employee's home. Now, when you read this, you really do believe that maybe they're just over-exaggerating. They might be dildos. He just may be into some shit. I mean, look at him. He's into some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. FBI agents made an astonishing discovery while executing a search warrant at the residence of a Houston mortician. 3,178 embalmed human penises.
Jesus.
Embalmed. Human.
What a
not
dick.
dildos. Yeah, what a dick. That's great. According to the FBI, this 50-year-old man, Dave Murray, was an employee of the Harris County morgue. He has been implicated in an organ trafficking network. It really just seems like just a very specific organ. I mean, he specializes in one area, and that's it.
Yeah, he's dicking around at work.
So
keep them coming, Ant-Man. Keep them coming.
Hey, so listen. So this dude is like storing penises. What, like to sell on the black market?
Well, apparently when the FBI went in, there were shelves everywhere filled with hundreds of glass jars. Each of them contained a penis floating in formalin.
Look at my dick museum or something. I don't know what's going on there.
This is
welcome to the Dick Showcase Showdown over here. Fucking.
a quote from Agent Andy Ramirez of the FBI says he explained in great detail how he had been cutting off dead men's genital organs and collecting them for more than 10 years.
10 years worth of dicks.
So now, get this, okay? I don't know the math in this. I'm not going to attempt to calculate this. Actually, I am.
Did you say calculate? Did you say calculate?
10 years, approximately 300 days if you take off weekends and holidays, and then maybe an occasional week vacation each year.
So
300 days a year. He's got about 3,100 cocks in jars.
Say 31.
He's collecting about 100 a year, right? Am I right? Or about what is the math?
Let me look at my calculator. I mean, my calculator.
He's getting a cock a day. Okay,
basically,
that's a dick a day. If you got 300 days, if you take out holidays, weekends,
that's 300. Well, that's 310 dicks
310 days. 310 dicks a day. No.
I mean a year. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, when you take out the holidays, if you're on vacation and you don't have to worry about it, you're doing a dick a day.
Dick a day. That's crazy.
Dick a day, man. This guy is in the money.
And actually, that's not even the right number either. I rounded to 3,100, but it was a little bit more, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3,178 to be exact. He's got a, what do you call that? Nest egg?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have anything for that, do you, man? You can think about it. It did take the FBI more than 7 hours to gather all the organs. And can you imagine how many dick jokes were coming up in those 7 hours?
Dude, and imagine how low on the totem pole you are as an FBI agent carrying out all these dicks. So
what if there was a family that just was concerned about whether or not their loved one may have been violated, so they hired a private dick.
So listen, I know, right?
I don't know.
So the new number after actually putting in the right amount of dicks is 317.8. So that's per year. Yeah. I don't know why there's a decimal. Maybe there's a part of a dick. He didn't get one of the balls or something.
Speaking of part of, the story ends with the oddest revelation, and this is what I can't get over. There have only been a total of 53 criminal charges being filed against Mr. Murray.
Only 53?
Wow.
Who has the other 3,100 in 23 dicks?
Yeah.
There are some dicks missing.
I'll tell you what, when I die, I'm going to have my girlfriend make sure my dick is still there. I kid you not. This is bullshit.
In my will, I'm just going to have it just written out, hey, you keep this. Just cut it off anyway.
Well, if you think about it, when they show you in the casket, half of your body doesn't even show, right? So you don't even know if your dick's missing or not.
I know.
The fuck?
Just check for me, all right?
Yeah. I mean, I doubt, how do they find out? A funeral happened and the wife or girlfriend went for one last squeeze and hey,
something's missing here.
He's missing his dick.
Yeah. What'd you do?
So just to sum it up, they have ordered a psychiatric evaluation. If he's determined to be fit to stand trial, he will appear in court in October. So they're giving him some time.
Is there any clue on how long if convicted, he'd be staying in prison?
Or a part of the penile system?
Yeah.
I would probably say it's
probably forever.
It's gonna be for a long time.
Yeah.
The penile system.
It'll be for a long time. Yeah.
Well, in jail he'll be in contact with a lot of dicks too.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good time.
Up close and personal.
And that's the thing. The story doesn't say anything about whether or not he was into the dicks. He just like to be surrounded by them and profit.
Well, all you'd have to do is go to Walmart and you're surrounded by dicks everywhere,
Oh, man. Good old Walmart.
Oh, man.
We should take a trip.
Speaking of cutting stuff and doing weird stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's your crazy news.
Yeah, that was crazy news. But we're going into our new topic. So Netflix is putting out another, I guess, I don't know, like a warning not to be thirsting after Ted Bundy, because they released this Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix, and apparently a lot of people on Twitter are like talking about how hot he is and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, yeah, but that's why he was able to kill like 38 women, because he was good looking.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. There was a level of charisma as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, the message isn't for me. So that's for sure. If people want to do that, I mean, it's just like the other documentary they put out with the Billy McFarlane guy. I mean, there was chicks out there like, oh, this guy's hot. The dude's a dick. So I mean, what do you want people to do? You can't tell who's Netflix to tell who I could be attracted to. If it's Ted Bundy or Al Bundy, well, I like who I like. I don't know.
Do you think chicks trust more handsomer men than, you know, fucked up, creepy looking dudes or something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Evidently, it turns out they thought they were safe with this fucking guy, and here he fucking murdered him.
He does look like, to a guy, he looks fucking creepy.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't see it at all, because the motherfucker had a unibrow for one, and that's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
I heard the unibrow is coming back, though.
Don't say that.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I can't understand it. He looks creepy to me. If someone finds him attractive in any of the photos that's shown, I could see where, you know what? I don't know. It ends up being.
I'm gonna have to look and see what Ted Bundy. I don't have no.
Oh man!
Do you think anybody thinks Hitler looks hot?
Hey,
I want probably.
That son of a bitch ruined a good mustache. I'll tell you that.
Oh my god!
But look at Bundy's mustache. I mean, you can't. He's got the porn stash. You can't walk around with that now. You think that looks creepy, but I guess some women think it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring back the porn stash and go down that route.
But anyways, Netflix wants to remind you that Ted Bundy is not hot. So basically, they're saying there's literally thousands of hot men on the service, almost all whom are not convicted serial murderers. There's been a sudden explosion of Ted Bundy related content as of late, including the new Zac Efron film, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, and the Netflix series Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. But literally, people are like on Twitter, on social media, talking about how hot he is. You know, Netflix actually released it. They said on a tweet saying, "I've seen a lot of talk about Ted Bundy's alleged hotness and would like to gently remind everyone that there are literally thousands of hot men on the service, almost all of whom are not convicted serial killers." And somebody replied, "But he's hot though." And it's like,
but that's a really weird statement. The way they're phrasing it too is that, okay, are you putting Netflix, movie selection out there as a meat market? Like, we put thousands of hot guys on. Don't look at this one hot guy. Go look at these other 999 hot guys. Like, I don't know what they're really trying to say there.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing because as the minute, okay, let's say, give me a let's say there was a documentary on any famous female serial killers. Let's say there was a Bonnie and Clyde type thing, right? Yeah. And we're like, Bonnie is hot, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, well, yeah, but she's a criminal. We put thousands of other hot females on. Like, how does that go about nowadays? You can't say that. So how can you say that? That's a weird stance to take on it.
I get what you're saying. I kind of agree though. Like they should not be saying that.
I mean, if I had a show on Netflix, I would not be, okay, wait for a second. I would not be offended, but I can understand in this day and age, how everyone wants to take the stance of being offended by something, how you probably should not have gone down that. That's not the argument you want to make if you're trying to tell people Ted Bundy's not hot. One, I don't know why you're trying to tell people that. But two, if you're going to tell people, that's not the reason you give, that you have thousands of other hot people.
I get that.
You know?
I'm looking right now at 10 of the most notorious female serial killers, and they all look like shit. Right?
Tommy Parker says, look at Manson or look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, I don't know. And you know, when I try to give that example, it's I'm not saying it's bad. It's a good thing we don't have more serial killers. Definitely.
Well, that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
I'm just pointing out the fact that a female serial killer does not come to mind for the example I want to make. But in the same token, so what? Just because you find somebody hot does not mean you're attracted to their personality, their type, or whatever they're giving off. He's looking at a picture. If someone didn't know who Ted Bundy was and they look at that picture, okay, so what? And they want to voice their opinion on social media, that's fine. But who is Netflix to come around and say that you can't say someone's hot? And if you want to say someone's hot, take a look at our menu.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Weird.
I think, though, man, if you guys have not seen this series, it's only there's only 4 episodes and they're about an hour apiece.
That's the appalling part. What's up with Netflix and the 4-episode shit? They did the same shit to Castlevania. They're doing it now that it's Ted Bundy. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's more. 4 hours. It's 4 hours. Yeah. It's there's a lot said too. I mean, I need my
26-hour series back. I need all the shows. It seems like Netflix doesn't want you to binge as much anymore. They give you these little piecemeals now.
Little teasers or something like that. You know?
Sorry to change the subject. Yeah, that's what I'm more upset about.
But I haven't even seen the Ted Bundy series because everybody I talked to said it sucks. So
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard it sucked too. I still have to watch the Fire Netflix one. I just watched the Hulu one. So
if you're interested in that kind of stuff and trying to kind of figure out why somebody would do that, it's not like action packed or nothing. Let me just say that it's a documentary, but it's not like the most like if you're gonna watch something just to be completely entertained and like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
I'm smiling because you got me wanting an action-packed Ted Bundy documentary.
That would be hilarious. But I'm saying like it's very. I'm trying to think of a word to say it. It's slow moving at times. I will say.
Is it thorough? It's
very thorough. That's the thing. You know, there's a lot of information, and also they do play a lot of the tapes that the killer's actually talking in, and like some of that kind of drones out a little.
Do they play the whole tapes or like just pieces?
Pieces here and there.
Okay, so I liken this to playing a role-playing video game. Again, I live my life through video games, but this is almost like you're playing a video game, and then there could be some action down the hallway, but you decide to pick up this audio log and just listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
No, it's cool though. I liked it because I mean they go into details about the murders and then they interview the family. There was actually there was a girl that actually escaped from him that was he tried to murder, but she escaped.
Was it inside of like a school or whatever where a bunch of hot college chicks were sleeping or something?
Well, a lot of his crimes did take part around colleges. Like towards the end, dude, he was just literally going college to college, bashing people's fucking heads in while they were sleeping.
How many people did this guy kill?
Like 38.
God damn.
Shit.
Ashley says, I like information on serial killers, though. It's not for everyone. My wife does the same thing. What are you guys, like, in preparation for some shit? Yeah. Like, what information do you need from serial killers?
I think that's the women in them, you know? They always try to figure this shit out. Like, what is going on in his mind?
Who gives a shit? Lock him up. Like,
what I thought was interesting Because he had a mountain of evidence against him and stuff, and like people were like coming out to support him and like all this shit, like and then
like he's a fucking hero,
and then he's getting like love letters in jail and shit, and then he ended up getting married and having a kid while in death row.
Wow,
like
creeps for creeps. That's the thing.
Super,
creeps for creeps.
Like just an amount of stupidity, and then like. When he was executed, I believe back in 90 or 89, something like that. Like there was like parties going on outside of the prison, and like you know, like I mean, they're having hot dogs, hamburgers, beer, and stuff, celebrating this motherfucker getting executed and shit.
It's crazy.
Like it was like a whole weekend they planned with this shit. It was like a tailgate party.
How was he executed?
Electric chair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Barbecue with the barbecue.
Yeah, you know. The thing about this guy that's very interesting, okay, was his charisma. He's sentenced to death, right? And even as being sentenced to death, the judge on the way out of just sentencing this guy to death is telling him, was giving him compliments.
Yeah,
like I'm telling you, it was the creepiest thing ever. Wow. Like he drones on for about a couple minutes about, oh, you know, like I wish you the best. It's nothing personal. Like this, I've never heard a judge talk like this. Like, oh my goodness, dude. Like, and I think if it had been the judge and not a jury, he might have gotten off
or probation.
Something.
Probation
for murder. Yeah. Or
that sounds like the next documentary. Probation for murder. You're gonna find somebody.
We're gonna put you on house arrest. No more killing people.
That's what Netflix is probably doing too. They've actually already gotten this script already. They've got a documentary ready to go. Probation for murder. They're just waiting for the right. They're waiting. We have it ready to go. We just need the right murderer.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, we're going to go on break. When we get back, we're going to Get to Work with David Franks, and we're going to talk about a teenager who died after eating 5-day-old pasta. Keep it locked right here on the Epic Radio Show. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I just want to make sure that you follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Epic Music Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just look up the Epic Radio Show and follow us on Instagram, Epicness216. Couldn't get a hold of David, so we're just going to move on to the teenager.
He probably got to work.
Yeah, he got to work. That's what it was. So there was a 20-year-old student, and he died in his sleep after eating spaghetti that had been left out for 5 days. He was from Brussels.
See, I'm done. That's why.
He was violently sick after eating leftover spaghetti with tomato sauce, which had been stored at room temperature.
What killed him? The tomato sauce or the pasta?
I'm assuming the tomato sauce. After becoming violently ill, he went to bed and tried to sleep the sickness off, only to be found dead in a bed the next morning by his devastated parents.
What? I'm sorry. Does anybody else get any physical inflictions that you could just sleep off?
Well, I mean, there's been times I've gotten sick or whatever, like, and I just, I'm going to bed. You just think it's like a cold or flu or something.
Yeah, but I mean, even a cold or flu, you got to take some sort of measure. I'm confused by the verbiage of to try to sleep it off. Like, I don't know how you do a sleep off.
No, I've done it. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, you like won't take like a Tylenol or some NyQuil and then go to sleep. Like,
possibly, but even then, would that have really helped him? Because that's not what the symptoms were.
I mean, Pepto, Imodium.
But he might not have known that it was because of the food. You know?
Yeah, who'd have thought he's gonna shit himself to death? You know?
I'm sorry if I'm sick and I'm shitting, or my stomach hurts, I think the first thing I would think of is that pasta that I ate that I knew. So, okay, continue. I'm sorry about this. Continue. Well, did he know it was old when he ate it?
Well, I'm trying to get to all
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry.
You literally stopped me in the beginning of
I'm confused.
An autopsy later revealed he died suddenly from food poisoning caused by a bacteria called Bacillus cereus? Yeah, that looks good. Anyways, according to the Food Standards Authority, Bacillus cereus is a spore-forming bacteria that produces toxins, causing vomiting and diarrhea. While the student known only as AJ experienced both these symptoms, he treated his symptoms as a regular bout of food poisoning, drinking plenty of water, and taking no medication. However, the toxins from the bacteria caused his liver to go into failure, killing him as he slept. Yeah, so he was found 11 hours later. It's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like, he was pretty healthy. There was no reason for him other than the food poisoning for him to die.
Wasn't he an athlete too?
Yeah, I believe so. It doesn't really say on here.
So where did he get this spaghetti from?
I think he pre-planned his meals or something like that to save money. I read up on that, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't say exactly.
But what happened is, I think because you let the food set out for so long, the bacteria gets inside of it.
So I'm assuming they didn't refrigerate it. That's what it kind of seems like.
Where's that bacteria grow? Does it grow? Did we say it grows in the pasta? Or it grows in?
No, the tomato sauce.
In the sauce.
Yes.
Okay. Was it homemade?
I would assume so.
Yeah, and he
I got a lot of questions.
I read he was complaining that it might have been the new sauce that he used too. He thought it was that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of things he just didn't know. You know, he didn't know exactly what it was. He should have went to the hospital, obviously. So if you ever experience food poisoning symptoms, maybe you should take your ass to the hospital. But this is a very rare event that happens. This isn't something that happens every day.
Well, there was something too that I read about the same bacteria that was found, you know, once they did the autopsy. I guess there's a thing of a bacteria of rice that sets out too for if you let it set out too. I never do that. You know?
I don't understand why. I mean, my whole thing is we'll set it out till everyone's done eating, and then once it cools down, we'll put it in the fridge. We'll cover it, put it in the fridge.
That's weird because I'm going to be honest with you. Like sometimes we'll make a pot of rice and we'll leave it out, like so everyone's done eating, and then we'll kind of forget that it was out, and we'll come the next morning and we're like, oh, we'll just stick this in the fridge. And we'll stick it in the fridge, and then we'll eat that rice. But I don't. We would not be eating 5-day-old rice or pasta that was out. Yeah, that was just out. Like we're 20-year-old student. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to remember me at 20. I still was like.
I don't think I would have did it.
Yeah, I would not have done that. I think you would have had to catch me at 12 years old that I was going to eat something that was sitting out for 5 days. Like that's the I mean, oldest I think I would be.
Do they not have that kind of thought process in Brussels?
Or is there, so when you say like it is in Brussels, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe there's a technology divide, or there's
but they're not a third world country.
It doesn't seem like that third world, but it does seem like they have maybe different techniques. So I know like when I go to Ecuador, so Ecuador is not a third world country, but it's also not. It's like I hate hearing first world countries. I hate hearing first world countries, but you know, Ecuador is not on that tier of the United States. So when I go down to Ecuador, one of the key things that I always see they do, they don't refrigerate eggs, but eggs are fresh too. So and I don't get that. I don't get that whole thing. There's just a lot of things that end up just being kind of like.
Well,
questionable.
With fresh eggs, they have a film over top of them. That's what keeps them fresh. Here in the United States, if you wash that film off the egg, that's what doesn't protect it anymore, and that's why you have to refrigerate it.
Okay.
A buddy of mine owns a chicken farm.
Well, not only that, but eggs. All right, so like the eggs that we get in a grocery store, a lot of times they're like over a month old already. You know what I mean? Because by the time they get laid by the chicken, and then they go through the processing and all that. By the time they actually reach grocery store shelves, they're probably over a month, maybe 2 months.
But the thing is I know when I do go down to Ecuador, I always end up having to visit. You can go to a pharmacy in Ecuador, and it's almost like going to a hospital. So I go to the pharmacy and I get this medication that helps me digest like the foods that are down there, because they store things differently than we do. So maybe the same thing happens in Brussels, but I can imagine any country in the world that is modernized that does not store pasta after a day.
Gotcha.
You know, after a day. So just this 20-year-old, this stupidity. You did it. You did it to yourself. I mean, don't eat pasta. People don't eat old food. Forget pasta, tomato sauce, or whatever it is. Just don't eat old food. Stop doing it.
Exactly.
Is Brussels is Germany, right? Brussels, Germany?
Yeah, Brussels is Germany.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
They got good sprouts. I don't even know. My daughter loves Brussels sprouts. Speaking of, I think Ant-Man, your daughter's hanging out in the chat too. She says, "Hey, Dad." I know it's not mine. So who's got a dad out there, Emily?
Me.
Boom. My bad. Hey, Dad.
you remember I got like 80 kids.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Emily.
I don't know what Tommy is talking about. I want to try to back up here. First off, to talk about some public hangings will be in now. This is going back to our serial killers. So I'm just trying to make this all make sense, because it's gonna come full circle. Talmadge Circle would be a great place to start. Bring the kids. You can't spank your kids, so this will show all what happens when you take someone else's life. And then that's when Emily says, "Hey, Dad."
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I thought that was awesome.
That's funny.
And now you can kill a child with abortion. So it's a new generation. We're all effed up.
I agree with Tommy Parker, actually. You know, there should be someone commits a crime, especially something like that. You should take a bamboo stick and whip the damn skin off of them, just to show, just in case there's some asshole out in the crowd thinking they're going to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
You know, twice. I would think that as an adult, except I have this very vivid memory of when I was a kid, and there was the big story about, I can't remember the kid's name, about the caning in,
who spray painted in Thailand or something, right?
Yeah, it was Singapore. It was in Singapore, and he was publicly caned. And I remember the whole lead up to, like, they're gonna cane this dude, and everybody was just like not pumped nor hyped about it, but it was just this whole lead up for like a month and a half, and then they still did it, even though there was all this push about don't do it. They still did it. What I didn't know now as an adult, all of that time that the United States kept stepping up and saying, don't do it to this kid, don't do it to this kid. They actually had over 300 public canings in that time. And in that period, the story had broke to when they caned that kid. They had over 300 public canings.
Wow.
So they just happened. You know? Yeah. it was a weird thing. Yeah, games happen.
Do they work? We should check up on that, see if they're efficient. You know, if they do their job.
I don't know if they're still doing them, but I don't know if I can get behind it now just because I have that memory.
You know, another thing, too. Like, how many people are caning you at the same time?
I think this was one. I think this was like a professional caner.
Like a master caner.
Yeah, like a hooded caner. I don't know. Master.
Oh, man. Jesus.
I majored in caning.
Yeah. Like, do you have to go to school for that? Like,
no, they get ex-baseball players.
Canology and shit.
Ex-cricket players. Or is it cricket or croquet? What is the one game that they play with the cricket? With the white cricket? Is that cricket?
Yes.
No, I think it's croquet.
Croquet.
No, croquet is like
the little basket.
Oh, croquet is the mallet. Cricket is the yeah. You're right. It's cricket.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because cricket's more like a baseball.
More like a baseball.
Yeah. Yep.
Croquet is like a golf. Vertical hole. Yeah, vertical holes.
I would kind of
like gates.
They kind of remind me of like
putt. Yeah, isn't croquet like a putt?
I guess something like that.
I was just thinking about this. Okay. Yeah. So for child molesters, right?
Oh boy.
I know who would fit that fucking job. Is that guy who's been hiding his dicks in his house?
Yeah.
Please don't refer to a child molester's job or child molesters as having a fucking job.
No. I'm saying the guy who's been hiding dicks, he could be the one chopping off child molesters' dicks.
Shit.
Mr. Morgue worker who's hiding dicks.
Yeah.
See, my grandmother did say there's someone for everyone. Look at that.
There's a role for everybody. Yep. If you don't know what your special skill is, you will one day.
Allison says wickets. What's a wicket?
I don't
Cricket.
know.
And what's the W for? I don't know. Oh, man.
I don't know.
Sleep on that one, folks. Wickets.
All right.
It's coming.
Well, I think if it's good with everyone else, we can end on that note.
I'm going to add to go on the internet and find the petition for Mortal Kombat 11 to add Shaggy from Scooby-Doo to the roster.
Okay.
Sign it. I don't know. I don't have the link on with me right now, but search Mortal Kombat 11 Shaggy and sign the petition. There's over 300,000 names already. We're going to get Shaggy in the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet.
That'd be sweet. I don't have anything. Do you?
Not much.
I mean, we're going to be doing a live show March 16th in Parma. I don't have all the information for that, but we will be broadcasting live from a concert on March 16th.
So even without all the information, just mark your calendar.
Yeah, mark your calendar. I'll have more information soon. Once I get the flyer, I'll advertise it on the show and everything. But
we'll start St. Patty's Day early, people.
Yeah, come out and see us.
Yeah, come out and see us. So me and the Ant-Man for sure. Larry, you haven't gotten back with me.
I'm penciling it in. I will know in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Possibly Ashley. Possibly Jay. I don't know. Like Jay, it's hard to get a hold of him now.
He's in the backwoods of Mississippi.
That's right. He's in the backwoods playing with balls.
Oh my!
What?
Oh, we're talking about cricket.
Yeah.
No, croquet.
Yeah.
Wait, god damn it. I don't know what's happening. Okay, Tabitha says wicket cricket. But I think wickets are in the game of croquet.
Yeah.
But not cricket.
Yes.
So Tommy says wickets are the steel half ring that the ball goes through. Now, you cannot read that statement by itself. Because that's what I did. And that was
a call from our earlier conversation with the lingerie.
Yeah, if you watch the replay, I made this face. I know I had a face because I read that. I'm like,
yeah, you did. Yeah, I was like, "What's going on? Are you having a heart attack?"
Oh my goodness!
Like, are we going to have
Wickets or the still half ring that the ball goes through?
Okay,
gotcha.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you guys. We will see you next week. Our special guest will be Michal Johnston. I know I mispronounced that. It looks like Michael, but it's a woman. I don't know. I know there's a specific way to say that, and it's a Polish name. I suck. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like,
is that Michal?
That's not right.
Michal, right?
Something like that. Michal. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. Michal. Okay. Sorry. I said Michal. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
I was looking at it, dude.
I was like, what the fuck?
You guys are gonna love my expressions this entire episode. Jesus. Because I'm like,
I'm gonna end it all. Okay. So we'll see you next week. And as always, make life epic.
That's not Michelle. Is that Michelle?
No. I don't
Michal.
It's not Michelle. No.
That's Michal. That's Michal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Peace.
You guys.
Peace.
Keep it locked. No, not keep it locked.
Keep it epic, right? I thought it was.
I was gonna say, make sure you follow us at Twitter, Facebook at Epic Music Radio, and subscribe to the damn channel.
I'm on another show that keeps it locked. You got to stay epic. I got to keep these first.
I know. Gotcha. All right. Oh, and next week, if everything goes right, we'll have a new segment with the Ant-Man over here called "Is It Legal?" That's going to be interesting.
Oh, and another thing. Goddamn, just bye.
Yeah, bye.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states nowadays. Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
Oh, wow, that was terrible.
Hasta la vista, baby.
No!
That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job, but you know, Bob, that'll only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
And I'm sorry, we're out of time. Bye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Please leave this office.
Do we get any sort of souvenir?
Get out of my office!
Oh my God, it feels so good. Oh yeah, oh slow down. Oh yeah, who's your daddy?
That's all, folks.